What's up, guys? Dos Hombres here. We just wanted to kind of break from the routine a little bit and do something a little bit different. We thought this might be kind of fun since we're a new channel and we're learning and we're just adapting and progressing all the time. So we thought we might just take 1 week and kind of talk about some of the things we've learned over the last 2 months of videos, some of the mistakes that we made along the way, what we did to correct them, kind of some of the things we're trying out to as we try and grow the channel and just kind of have fun. So that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, so I'll just take a moment and explain who we are and how we got here. 4 months ago, I reached out to Dave, and I don't know. So I own a software company. I also do some other stuff on the side. Dave, he's a financial coach. Both very busy, and we're both entrepreneurs, and but for some reason decided to go start a side YouTube channel. Apparently we need fulfillment in other ways too, I guess. But anyway, reached out to Dave. I'd seen some of these social experiment channels growing on YouTube, and I just felt like the tenor of the channels wasn't, great. A lot of times they just leave people feeling bad about themselves.
Yeah, you feel terrible for the people sometimes.
So our goal was to create a channel, we like the social experiment stuff. We think it's super funny, but to do it in a way that, it's very family friendly and, people don't feel bad about watching. But we want to do a lot more than just that. I think ultimately we want to do philanthropy stuff. We love the comedic stuff that's funny. But we just want to be two guys just doing whatever we want and doing challenge videos. Eventually we see ourselves doing some pretty crazy stuff, but we're just starting out.
Like Richard said, like what sparked it, I think we both just needed an outlet, like a creative outlet, to kind of just do something that no pressure, right? We didn't have set huge expectations for ourselves. It was just something we said, hey, we think when you do this, it'd be fun.
Yeah. We
think we could grow it as well. Like it's a big challenge, so what have we got to lose? We may as well try it out. So let's dive into a few of the things we've learned as we've come 2 months in, 6 videos in. This is our 7th video. That's it. And maybe some of the tips that we have, if you're looking to start a YouTube channel, maybe you can avoid some of our mistakes or use some of our tips to help out. And make sure to stay till the end. Why would they want to stay to the end?
There's no reason to stay till the
end. Right,
we don't even know what the end is. So
we started thinking like, okay, well, what is our name going to be for the channel? Yeah. And we had this Google Doc going, right? We're both editing, adding possible names, like trying to capture the essence of what our channel would be. It just, nothing hit right. Because you got, you want it to be short, you want it to be memorable, you want it to be, kind of really capture what you're trying to do as a channel. So when somebody sees the name of the channel, they're like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
In the end, we didn't really do any of that. And Richard was just, I could see him typing on the Google Doc and he said, Dos Hombres. And it was just like, boom, that's it. We're just two guys doing stuff.
It is kind of funny because, I'm by nature a very goofy guy and I like to do things that are borderline outrageous, but as soon as you do it on YouTube, it's totally fine. If you do it in real life without a camera for some reason,
weird.
You're just weird. So I think we both just kind of wanted an excuse to be weird.
Right.
And
yeah, as soon as you tell people it's for a YouTube channel, they think it's the best thing in the world.
It's so funny.
So it kind of like legitimizes
we get people to accommodate all types of requests when it's for a YouTube channel.
Yeah, so then we said, okay, well, we're both entrepreneurs.
We don't have time.
We don't have a lot of time, and we don't want to sink a lot of money into it, right? So we want to kind of spend as we go, and so we want to kind of bootstrap the channel.
Like probably not most spend of you. A lot of money. Here's what Dave means by that.
That is our official light for our video. It's a lamp. You gotta recenter that one. So that's our lighting, is a lamp with some paper towels over it, so the light's not so harsh, right? And it's just kind of like things don't have to be perfect. You think in your head. I still
I need to go spend hundreds of dollars on a lighting kit. I need to get the best, equipment. We're doing this on our phones. I mean,
yeah.
Not that it's the best.
No, but it's doable. And I think one of the things I've learned, just being an entrepreneur anyways, is that you just have to do stuff. If you just spend time thinking and planning and trying to get things perfect, you just don't get anywhere. Yeah. So what we did is we said, okay, we set a hard deadline. We said we're starting January 1st. We were going to start launching videos, and we just set ourselves a deadline.
And then we just said, okay, in December, let's go to Vegas for 3 days and knock out 8 videos or something like that. So we just went down for 3 days, and we had a Google Doc of, we probably got, at the time we probably had 40 ideas. We're probably close to 100 now. Yeah. People are always texting us ideas and stuff, and we love the creative inspiration. So, but yeah, we went down to Vegas and just decided to go for it, and not even knowing like how people were going to react, not knowing that we're not actors in any sense of the word.
Knowing also that we've never done anything like this, right? Like we're not filmographers.
No.
And so like if you look at some of the first videos, our camera work is awful, especially mine. I was all over the place. We had to edit out so much. It was unusable. But right, we set a deadline. We said, okay, we want to start launching, so we better figure this out. So that's when we said, hey, we better get together and just do a bunch, right?
You know what's funny, though, is we've learned looking at a ton of these huge channels like Mark Rober and a bunch of, like, I actually had a college roommate who started Jerry Rig Everything. I think he's got like 7 million subs now. Yeah. But you look back at the beginning videos on all of these channels, and they're all super novice. And I think that brought us a little bit of comfort.
So. Yeah, because you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And to not be embarrassed. So like right now, as of this filming, we have 131 subscribers, which we're extremely grateful for.
Yeah, and right. I mean, the fact we can count 1 on the end, that
right,
that tells you where we're at.
Yes, we know every single number to the 1.
How many views do we have, Dave?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. But basically, like, you know, you just got to start, and your idea is never going to be perfect. Like, we're still trying to figure out what this is exactly going to be. We had an idea, and, you know, maybe it's morphing a little bit.
Our first 7 videos were all social experiment videos, and the next, 7 that we're planning to do tonight and tomorrow.
It's going to be a lot of challenge videos.
It's going to be challenges and different types of videos. We're still at the point where we're just totally experimenting and having fun with it. So
yeah. And a big part of it is, like, figuring out, what do people want to watch?
Yeah.
Like, what is actually going to entertain you, right? If we're just putting out videos that are boring, then that's lame.
And if you have an idea, throw it in the comments. At this point, everything is exploratory. Like, we think some ideas would be funny. What we've learned, though, is things that sound funny theoretically don't necessarily always translate. I think some of the original ideas we had for the Vegas trip, the ones we thought were going to be the funniest, just didn't end up being that funny.
Yeah. Are really hard to execute sometimes. Like I think we got a little carried away, and especially logistically with like filming. Like there's only 2 of us, so we have certain limitations, right? Like we don't have a camera crew plus us, and like it's just harder to do. Some of the ideas are hard to execute. So let's break down really quick some of the things, like how do we film, what equipment do we use, how do we edit our videos, and stuff like that. Just some of the equipment, like some of the basics, so that if you're looking to start a channel, you realize you can start with not a lot at all. So we are currently filming this on my iPhone. We film other videos on Richard's iPhone, and that's it. We use our phones, and we just film it in 4K.
Yeah, so on your phone, you might not know this, but there's a 4K setting. We do 30 frames per second because it is incredible how much storage it takes up if you don't. It's like 4 gigs.
Yeah.
Per 4 gigs per minute or something.
I don't know.
Like
it's
that.
Something insane.
It is insane.
We don't have that much memory on our phones at a time. So if we're filming a bunch of videos, you gotta kind of sort through the storage of 4K. But we definitely wanted to do 4K because of quality, right? Yeah. If anything, we at least want the picture to be like pretty good. It doesn't always happen, but we want it to be.
And then as far as storage, Dave found an online storage thing called pCloud. Where they've got like, how many terabytes do we have?
So I think we get 2 terabytes.
It's like $100 a year or something.
$100 a year, and 2 terabytes can store. I mean, that's a ton of memory.
Yeah.
So it's up on the cloud. We can, we have apps on our phones, so we can both access it. Whichever one films the video can just upload it through the app. And then when we're ready to edit, right, we can just pull them down from the cloud onto our, our local drive or whatever.
It doesn't distort the original file.
It keeps original quality, right? A lot of them compress images or compress the video files so that the quality isn't actually original. So pCloud is what's working out for us so far. So
then, as far as editing, we use Adobe Premiere. I mean, you can probably start out on iMovie. It's not like you need a ton of sophistication for a channel like ours.
yeah, I've done a ton of my own videos in iMovie, and for something that doesn't have to be high production quality, or for certainly, just starting out, there's plenty in iMovie. But Adobe Premiere gives us a few extra features that we kind of like, but it's pretty user friendly, and you can pretty much figure it out, or YouTube tutorials.
Yeah.
So it's not like a huge learning curve.
Yeah, unless you get into like trying to put lightsabers in videos and those types of things, like Dude Perfect. For that, you would need After Effects, and I don't think we're even going to go there. So
yeah, certainly we aren't going to go there.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
maybe we'll hire someone someday.
But there's tons of free music and sound effects out on the web that are royalty free. So you can download them if you want to add sounds or images and things like that, just to kind of spice it up. So we've been experimenting a little bit with that in more recent videos and trying to, I don't know, just like mix up what you're viewing. So it's not just straight video, like from one angle, right? It kind of fast forwards or it jump cuts to another scene, or it adds an image, or it adds other audio, just to kind of keep the audience engaged. So we're kind of experimenting with that, trying to figure out, what's a good mix for what we're doing.
Yeah, and then as far as mics, so we have this mic. This is just a Rode mic. How much did we buy? It was like $200.
Yeah, I think this is 200.
So we got that one. Quality's pretty solid on it. We bought another one that's like a distance mic. It's like wireless. So this one, I don't know what the brand is on that, but it was like $70, I think. And I don't notice a huge quality difference between the two. The one thing I do notice is that one is a lav mic. It'll cut out more than the Rode mic does. The Rode seems to be, but this one we can't film from like more than 40 feet away with this one. This one we can film from probably 100 yards away.
Yeah, this one uses like basically a radio signal. And so you can go a couple hundred feet before this starts cutting out and like the audio really turns bad. So if we're doing something really far, which really with iPhones we shouldn't be, as we've learned, but if you're doing something kind of far away, then this has worked great. And this, how much was this one?
It's like $70.
Yeah, so this is like $70. So this end plugs in. It comes with an adapter, and it plugs right into like a headphone jack or to the Lightning port for iPhone. And then this is what you plant on yourself. Like the person has this, and you can connect. Yeah, the lav mic, right? And hide it. This thing is ginormous, so we probably should get one that's easier to hide. But again, it's whatever. It's what it is.
Yeah.
So, but this audio is pretty good. The Rode mic is all Bluetooth. So that's why the distance, after a certain distance, it cuts out.
Yeah, we didn't want to do it where we had the audio, a separate audio device, and then video, and then have to sync the audio with the video. That would have been a pain. So we just wanted it to sync with the recording so that it would be easier to edit. Mm-hmm. So
we got this one first. It was one of the cheaper ones, and it had good reviews on Amazon. So we said, okay, let's go for it. And we tested it out with this. It cut out once or twice during filming of our very first video. And so we said, hey, if we're going to do a trip and do 9 videos, we better just make sure we have good audio.
Yeah.
And so that's when we just went ahead and got that one and said, hey, we're going to do this at least for a while, enough to make that $200 worth it.
Yeah.
And then we just went from there.
So Dave, what would you say has been the biggest unforeseen challenge thus far of the channel?
One of the biggest challenges is really logistics.
Yeah.
Like it takes so much time, especially if we're doing like a candid video, right? We're kind of doing social experience. So as a camera, we need to be hiding somewhere, but still close enough that, we can actually see what's going on in the video. And so positioning that, like we went to a park one time and it's just wide open spaces.
Yeah.
And so
with low res cameras,
few trees. Yeah. So it was like, where do you go with the camera to get close enough?
How do you hide?
Exactly. How do you hide? And so we spent,
and grocery stores. We were like, we did one video called Random Tangents in grocery stores where we just went up and started going off on random tangents with people.
Yeah, and like the produce
And we're
department.
standing there like trying to hide. But there were times where we were completely exposed, and anybody walking by sees us creepily recording someone from 30 feet away.
Yeah, it's that one's hard. So that probably takes like, I would say more than half of the time.
Yeah.
Is logistics. You also have to get. I mean, we have a couple of tripods, right, that hold our phones, and sometimes we might have both phones running. We should probably get another camera.
Yeah.
At some point, we'll probably get a little camera, but we use tripods, and so you have to position it because in the right way. Because if we walk up to somebody, we want to be able to see their face.
Yeah.
So we also have to like time interactions so that they're on the camera, they're looking. So anyway, that probably
people do what they want to do, which is really hard.
Yeah, we don't have we don't have control over where they move or what direction they turn or anything like that. So all of a sudden, like that could ruin an interaction, so to speak, from a filming standpoint.
Masks has been incredibly annoying because you want to capture people's reactions, and their face is a big part of that, and the masks definitely hide that.
So what about you? Like, what has been one of the hardest things you think about filming so far?
I would agree with logistics for sure, but I think the biggest thing is just who you're working with. For me, it's hard because I just
whatever.
No,
I thought you were gonna go like you have to find somebody you work really well with, and just gel with. Like,
it's hard to be un hombre in a group with dos hombres.
Yeah, it's impossible.
I think that's the hardest thing.
It's impossible.
I think logistics for sure, and then planning out. It takes a lot of creative and pre-planning to actually make a good video. You can compensate with really good editing. The problem is we're not that good at editing yet.
No.
So
no.
That will come with time, and it's funny, like after editing the 4th or 5th video, it's like, oh, I feel way better at this than I was on the first one. But trying to figure out that stuff. But I think ultimately what we want to get across here is if you're interested in potentially starting a channel or doing that type of thing, stop talking about it and just do it. It's like you don't need this big budget. You don't need lots of money. You don't need, just go get your iPhone and go start doing stuff and start uploading videos. And what we've learned is that's what YouTube wants anyway. I mean, until you've put 30-something videos on there, they don't even take you serious. So
yeah, they don't recommend you on the search page, right? You don't pop up on people's homepage as they're like scrolling through finding a video to watch.
At the beginning, it's all. I mean, we've generated through external links, like pushing people from Facebook and stuff. That's been like 75% of the traffic we've gotten through our first 8 videos, probably.
Yeah.
And I know that YouTube calls it impressions when they display your thumbnails of your videos in front of people. And I think they've done a few thousand for us. I think we're at like 4,000 impressions total.
Yeah. And
10% of those have converted. So it's led to like 400 total views, which isn't that big of a portion. So,
which is not bad considering, they kind of say as far as a click-through rate from impressions when somebody sees the thumbnail and then they click and watch part of your video. I think they say you want to target between like 4 and 6% of a click-through rate.
We've had a video that was 22%, I think.
Yeah. So there's some that are good, right? And it's just a matter of YouTube wants to see you, at least we think, right? And from what we've researched, YouTube wants to see that you're serious, right? That you're committed, that you're going to be consistently putting out content, and they want to make sure all those other metrics add up. So a couple of the metrics to be aware of. So a couple metrics to be aware of that we think are probably the most important. This is after a ton of research, like looking at the biggest channels, looking at the other channels that do analysis of the biggest channels, and like really trying to figure out how the algorithm works. So there's 3 metrics that are pretty important. So click-through rate, watch time, and then retention. And so the click-through rate is basically if somebody sees your thumbnail, do they click on it? And what percentage of people that see it click through and actually see a portion of your video? The next one is watch time, and that just simply means like how long are they watching, right? Yeah. Do they, if it's a 10-minute video, if they just watch 1 minute and everybody's leaving after 1 minute, that is not a very good sign.
Oh.
And so you want, a lot of our videos probably are close to 45%.
Yeah, which is probably low. Like, we need to get better at that, getting people to stay engaged. Like on this video. If you're not still here right now, we're doing a lousy job of that.
We're not doing this one for retention. This is for posterity. This is to document our journey here. So with retention, right, on the dashboard a little bit, but you kind of see the views, and you see as people drop off, and then you see where maybe more people stick around, or they click through to see something else that you've teased in your video, or maybe there's something really boring and there's like a steep decline, or maybe, you know, it's level and a lot of people are sticking around at a certain point and watching the rest of your video. And so if you can get people to click on your video and then watch it, then that will pretty much lead to success as far as everything that we have researched and learned. So that's kind of what we're going with, right?
Yeah. And a couple of ways to do that we did lousy on our first time were, at the beginning of the video, you need to make an intro as to what's going to be happening during the video.
Yeah.
We forgot to film intros on the last round. And it's just not nearly as compelling to put a black screen that says what the video is going to do as you explaining what the video is going to do. And then you need to have something really good at the beginning, something really good at the end, and you need to let them know what's coming at the end.
Yeah,
so they
that's
want to
something.
hang around.
Yeah, I mean, you see the biggest channels do it, but they always say, hey, be sure to stick around to the end because, right, we tried to do that earlier, but we don't actually have anything at the end of this one, so it's probably not going to work. But on other videos, right, if there's a big reaction or like something surprising that happened based on what you're doing, then you want to make sure to tease that because that helps people stick around. I mean, you think about any TV show, right? Any TV show, when you see, like maybe you see previews for the next episode, and it gives you just enough, right? It teases just enough to make you want to go and watch the episode, right? And so you're going to tune in and you're going to watch it. They don't quite give it away, but they, you know, so there's usually a lot of drama or something crazy happens, cliffhanger. So anyway, all of those principles are the same in YouTube videos. And if it's just flat and blah, it's going to be hard to keep people around. Some of our videos are kind of like that. So one thing we are going to try and do better is really framing the entire video. So you guys as viewers and anybody else gets an idea of like, okay, this is what they're doing. And I want to make sure I stick around to see this thing because they think it's pretty cool and they seem excited about it. So I want to see what it is, right? Whether it's a challenge or a reaction from a random person. So that's one thing that we are going to try and do a better job of on this next round.
All right, guys. Well, thanks. If you've made it here, you're a true warrior watching to the end of this video. We promise the next 7 will probably be way more entertaining. But like Dave said, we wanted to do this for our posterity so that they would know why we're doing this and how it's going.
Kind of a status. And maybe we'll do this every so often. Who knows? If you guys
every
like
5
this.
to 10 years, we'll drop in.
If you guys like this, though, and you like us kind of breaking down behind the scenes of our progress and actual numbers, make sure you like the video and go leave a comment about what you want, what you're curious to know that we can address in one of our next videos as far as starting your own channel or what YouTube looks for or any ideas that you have. Likes and comments and a lot of engagement on videos also help the video boost. So obviously we want you to boost this video, but just understanding like as you go, you want to create something that's engaging. It's two-way. It's not just like us speaking to you and then we never hear from you, right? And so we want to create kind of engagement. So we really do want to hear what you think, and we want to hear if you think a video is terrible, then give it a thumbs down. Now, if you think a video is terrible,
thumbs down. Actually, I've heard that any engagement is good. Like,
probably.
Bad engagement's better than no engagement. So do the thumb. In fact, I've noticed we haven't had a single thumbs down on any video. Do it.
We challenge
I'd love
you.
to see you put a thumbs down on this video. But most importantly, if you haven't subscribed, do it right here. Click that subscribe button right there.
Right on my face.
We don't know where it's going to be. I'm just pointing.
We're still
like
not
literally, there's no subscribe thing there in real life. I'm just pointing my finger.
We're still really bad at placing the subscribe button and the next video.
Yeah.
I haven't quite gotten the hack of that as we're uploading videos.
It might even be over here. I have no idea where this is going to be. But if it's you know,
There
that
could
corner.
be-
There's going to be a little thing that's going to have Dos Hombres, so like
Let's
a
just
round
both look
circle.
up. Like it'll probably be
Yeah,
right there in
it's
the middle.
out there, right there.
Over there.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Yeah, we're excited to put out more videos, and we love the ideas, so keep them coming.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Peace.